Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear students. Today we are going to study the topic neuroglia, and the second topic we are going to discuss today is nerve injury. So, dear students, you already know that the nervous system is made up of two types of cells. The cells that conduct impulses are known as neurons, and you might have seen them in your books, and they look something like this. Other than the neurons, there is a second type of cells which are known as neuroglia. Now, neuroglia are not involved with the conduction of impulses. Neuroglia are in fact supporting cells which are present all around the neurons and support them. ठीक है बेटे, तो न्यूरोग्लाया जो है आपके जो सेंट्रल नर्वस सिस्टम है, इनफैक्ट पेरिफेरल नर्वस सिस्टम भी, ये दो तरह के सेल से मिलकर बना होता है. एक न्यूरॉन्स होते हैं, ठीक है, जिनका काम है इम्पल्सिस को कैरी करना, और दूसरी तरह के जो सेल्स होते हैं वो न्यूरोग्लाया होते हैं. न्यूरोग्लाया इम्पल्सिस कैरी नहीं करते, अलबत्ता न्यूरॉन्स को सपोर्ट करते हैं. सो लेट अस स्टडी न्यूरोग्लाया इन डिटेल. Glial cells, neuroglial cells are also known as glial cells. They are not excitable tissues. In fact, they are supporting cells. Now, what does this mean that they are not excitable? This means that they cannot carry impulses. They cannot be excited. They do not have action potentials on their surfaces. They are only supporting cells. They are greater in number than neurons. Unlike neurons, glial cells can replicate. Do you know that the neurons, especially the neurons within your central nervous system like your brain and spinal cord, once injured cannot be replicated? But your glial cells, which are the supporting cells, can divide throughout the life. There are four types of neuroglial cells. Number one, astrocytes. Number two, oligodendrocytes. Number three, ependymal cells. Number four, microglia. So in this figure, you can see this is a neuron, this in yellow, and you can see two types of neuroglial cells present around this neuron. One of these is astrocytes, and the other ones you see here, these are the oligodendrocytes. ठीक है बेटे, तो अभी इस स्लाइड में हमने क्या कवर किया कि ग्लायल सेल्स जो हैं वो एक्साइटेबल नहीं हैं, यानी कि वो एक्शन पोटेंशियल नहीं कैरी कर सकते, वो सिर्फ सपोर्टिंग सेल्स हैं. वो न्यूरॉन्स से ज़्यादा तादाद में मौजूद होते हैं और न्यूरॉन्स डिवाइड नहीं कर सकते. एक दफ़ा इंजरी हो जाए तो दोबारा रेप्लिकेट नहीं कर सकते. अलबत्ता ग्लायल सेल्स जो हैं वो थ्रू आउट लाइफ रेप्लिकेट करते रहते हैं, और चार तरह के न्यूरोग्लायल सेल्स होते हैं. Here in this figure you can see the four types of neuroglial cells: the astrocytes, the microglial cells, the ependymal cells, and the oligodendrocytes. Oligodendrocytes and Schwann cells are almost same, but oligodendrocytes are present in the central nervous system, that is your brain and spinal cord, while Schwann cells are present in your peripheral nervous system, that means your peripheral nerves. Other than that, they both are same and have the same function. The only difference is the difference in location. Let us now discuss all of these four types of cells one by one. First, let us start with astrocytes. So, astro means star. These and cytes means cells. These cells are star shaped. You can see an astrocyte over here in the green color over here. This is an astrocyte, and you can see that it is shaped like a star. They have swellings at the ends of their processes and which are known as foot processes. So here you can see this is an astrocyte and it has multiple processes. At the end of their processes, they have swellings. These swellings are known as foot processes. These astrocytes are found near blood vessels, and they place their foot processes on the blood vessels, and they make a sleeve or covering around the blood vessels. You can see over here, this is a foot process which is lying on the surface of the blood vessels. Now, what is the function of an astrocyte? An astrocyte forms a barrier between the neurons and the blood vessel. ठीक है बेटे, एस्ट्रोसाइट जो हैं वो स्टार शेप्ड होते हैं और इनके ये जो प्रोसेसेस आपको यहाँ पे स्टार के प्रोसेसेस नज़र आ रहे हैं, उनके एंड के ऊपर थोड़ी सी स्वेलिंग्स होती हैं, इनको फुट प्रोसेसेस कहते हैं। और ये जो है ब्लड वेसल्स के करीब पाए जाते हैं और इन्होंने अपने फुट प्रोसेसेस जो होते हैं वो ब्लड वेसल्स के ऊपर रखे होते हैं, वहाँ ये आपको यहाँ पर नज़र आ रहा है। और उन्होंने ब्लड वेसल्स को कवर किया होता है अपने फुट प्रोसेसेस से, और ये न्यूरॉन्स और ब्लड वेसल्स के दरमियान मौजूद होते हैं और उनके दरमियान में एक दीवार बन के खड़े होते हैं, एंड दे फॉर्म अ बैरियर नोन एज ब्लड ब्रेन बैरियर, यानी कि अ बैरियर बिटवीन द ब्लड which is flowing in the blood vessels and the neurons of the brain. Now, why are these barriers required? Astrocytes are one of the most important neuroglial cells. They have a very important function, and this function is to form the blood-brain barrier. This barrier is very important because it tightly regulates the substances which can leave the blood vessel and enter the brain tissues. So, for example, you had juice for lunch, and as you already know that juices are mostly acidic in nature, especially if they are orange juice or any citrus juice. And if your blood-brain barrier was not provided by the nature, what would happen immediately after taking acidic juice? A lot of hydrogen ions and other acidic components would leave the blood vessels in your brain and start damaging your brain cells. But this is not the case. ऐसे नहीं होता। क्यों नहीं होता ऐसे? क्योंकि एस्ट्रोसाइट्स जो हैं वो नेचर ने आपके ब्रेन के अंदर प्रोवाइड किए हुए हैं। They form a lining around the blood vessels, so unwanted substances cannot leave the blood vessels and enter the brain tissue and damage it. Here you can see the foot processes of multiple astrocytes covering a blood vessel. ठीक है, यहाँ पे ये आपको blood vessel नज़र आ रही है और ये आपको फुट प्रोसेसेस नज़र आ रहे हैं। सपोज़ यहाँ पर कोई एस्ट्रोसाइट पड़ा होगा और ये उसके फुट प्रोसेसेस हैं। These are the foot processes of astrocytes. They cover blood vessels in the brain and form a sleeve or a covering around the blood vessels, so unwanted substances cannot leave the blood vessel and enter the brain neurons. So, astrocytes are very important. Then second type of cells are oligodendrocytes. They are smaller in size than the astrocytes. They are found around the nerve cell bodies in grey matter. So, suppose this is your brain, and your brain is made up of a lot of neurons, and your neurons have cell bodies and axons, and the axons are surrounded by oligodendrocytes, and these oligodendrocytes support the axon. And another important function is they cover the axons of the neurons in the central nervous system and form a protective isolation around them, and this isolation is known as myelin sheath. So here you can see Suppose this is a cell body of a neuron and this is the axon of the neuron, and you can see the axon continuing here in yellow color. So oligodendrocytes are present between the neurons, and what they do is they form a covering around the axons of the neurons, and in this way they form a sheet around the axons of neurons in your brain, and this sheet is known as myelin sheath. This sheath is very important because it protects the axons of the neurons in your brain, and also it increases the speed of conduction of impulses within the axons. ये देखें आपके न्यूरॉन्स बिल्कुल आपके घर में बिजली की तारों की तरह हैं. They also carry the same type of impulse like electricity wires. And you know that the wires in your house, जो आपके घर की तारें हैं, उनके इर्द गिर्द इंसुलेशन होती है, और यही वजह है कि ब्रेन में भी जो न्यूरॉन्स हैं उनके एक्सॉन्स के इर्द गिर्द इंसुलेशन होना ज़रूरी है. तो ब्रेन में वो सेल्स जो कि एक्सॉन्स के इर्द गिर्द इंसुलेशन प्रोवाइड करते हैं माइलिन शीथ की शक्ल में ओलिगोडेंड्रोसाइट्स कहलाते हैं. द सेल्स विच कैरी आउट द सेम फंक्शन इन पेरिफेरल नर्व्स, not in the central nervous system but in the peripheral nervous system, are known as Schwann cells. The third type of cells are ependymal cells. They are present in the ventricles of the brain. In fact, they line the ventricles of the brain and central canal of spinal cord. Now, what are the ventricles of the brain and what is the central canal of spinal cord? You already know that your brain is suspended in or is floating in a fluid which is known as CSF. Okay, so cerebrospinal fluid. It is a fluid which is present around your brain and inside your brain and inside your spinal cord. This fluid is known as CSF, and this fluid is protective in nature. It protects your brain from any kind of injury, and this CSF is produced in empty spaces inside your brain. These empty spaces are known as ventricles, and these ventricles continue into your spinal cord in the form of spinal canal. So the empty space in the spinal cord is known as spinal canal, and the empty space in your brain is known as a ventricle. These empty spaces are lined by special types of cells which are known as ependymal cells, and these ependymal cells are responsible for the production of cerebrospinal fluid. These cells are present in a form of a network or a plexus of capillaries, and this plexus is known as choroid plexus, and it secretes cerebrospinal fluid. ठीक है, आपके ब्रेन जो है वो उसके इर्द गिर्द एक फ्लूइड मौजूद है जिसको सेरेब्रोस्पाइनल फ्लूइड कहते हैं. ब्रेन के अंदर भी ये फ्लूइड मौजूद होता है और ये बनता है ब्रेन के अंदर कुछ खाली वेंट्रिकल्स के अंदर, खाली स्पेसेस के अंदर, जिनको वेंट्रिकल्स कहते हैं. और ये खाली स्पेस जो है वो आपकी स्पाइनल कॉर्ड के दरमियान में भी मौजूद होती है, वहाँ पे इसको सेंट्रल कैनाल कहते हैं. इस खाली स्पेस के जो सेल्स हैं उनको एपेंडाइमल सेल्स कहते हैं, और वो हैं जो इस फ्लूइड को बनाते हैं, सेरेब्रल स्पाइनल फ्लूइड की फॉर्मेशन करते हैं. So here you can see, suppose this is a section of the spinal cord, this is the spinal cord suppose, and this is the central canal. If you cut the spinal cord and see it under the microscope, you will find that the cells which are lining the central canal are known as ependymal cells, and these are the cells you can see over here, and they are responsible for the formation of cerebrospinal fluid. So this is the function of ependymal cells. Lastly, we have microglial cells. Micro means small, and glia are the neuroglial cells. These are very small in size, and they are the phagocytes of your central nervous system. They are the phagocytes of your central nervous system. They are derived from monocytes and macrophages. Monocytes are actually dormant और इनएक्टिवेटेड मैक्रोफेजेस. मोनोसाइट्स जो होते हैं वो आपके ब्लड के अंदर मौजूद होते हैं. वो मैक्रोफेजेस की इमेच्योर फॉर्म है और वो फेगोसाइटोसिस नहीं कर सकते. मोनोसाइट्स वंस दे रीच टिश्यू, any kind of tissue, it can be brain tissue, it can be any other tissue, once monocytes reach the tissue, now they become mature and are known as macrophages, and now they can do phagocytosis. So monocytes जो हैं वो blood के अंदर मौजूद होते हैं, वो immature form है, वो फिर होते हैं, अब वो मैक्रोफेजेस कहलाते हैं और अब वो फेगोसाइटोसिस कर सकते हैं. तो जो मोनोसाइट्स ब्रेन के टिश्यू के साथ आकर अटैच होते हैं, दोज आर नोन एज माइक्रोग्लाया, and they are responsible for removing any kind of microbes or organisms which are harmful, or any kind of dead or damaged tissue, or any kind of cells or inflammation products which are present in the brain. In this GIF you can see these three green cells, this and this. These are macrophages of the brain, and they are engulfing up waste products. You can see them over here, they are eating up the waste products in the brain. These are microglia. In the end, there is a summary of neuroglial cells. As I mentioned before, they are non-excitable, they cannot carry impulses, they are only supporting cells. There are 4 types. The first type is astrocytes, which form blood-brain barrier. Then there are oligodendrocytes, which are responsible for myelination. Then there are ependymal cells, which line the ventricles and form CSF. Then there are microglia, which are actually the macrophages of central nervous system. Then let us move on to a next important topic, which is nerve injury. This is very important. You can be asked questions from this topic in your written or theory exams, or even in your Viva exams. So what are the causes of nerve injury? Let us first understand what is a nerve, what is the structure of a nerve. Let me tell you what a nerve looks like. Basically, a nerve consists of many axons grouped together. Okay, so this is a neuron, and here you can see the cell body, and the cell body has these processes which are known as dendrites. Then here you can see the axon, and these are the endings of the axon. The axon is covered with special myelination, and this is done by Schwann cells. Multiple axons of different neurons bundled together to form a nerve. So what happens is, whenever a nerve does not get sufficient oxygen, which is known as hypoxia, hypo means low, oxia means oxygen, और if it is totally deprived of oxygen, कि उसको बिल्कुल भी oxygen ना पहुँचे, then this condition is known as anoxia. So if reduced oxygen or no oxygen is reaches a nerve for a specific time period, the nerve dies or is injured. If nutrients are not sent to the nerve fiber for a long period of time, it may also lead to nerve injury. Any nutritional deficiency, especially deficiency of vitamin B, if your diet is deficient in vitamin B, it can cause demyelination of your nerve fibers, and it can cause nerve injury. Specific poisons are also capable of causing nerve injury, especially lead. So lead is responsible for a nerve injury and many symptoms of nervous dysregulation. And trauma can also lead to nerve injury, like any cut injury or crush injury, or after a fracture, nerves can experience trauma. Infections can also lead to nerve injury. Do you know a very important infection which causes nerve injury? It is very common. Yes, it is the poliomyelitis. It is caused by the polio virus, and it causes damage to the nerves. Other than that, aging is also a factor. As you grow old, your nerves become more prone to injury. They can easily get injured, or they are not as capable of maintaining their myelin sheaths. So aging is also can also lead to nerve injury. And hypoglycemia, long durations without food, or any other disease like diabetes mellitus, or treatment of diabetes mellitus such as insulin. If a person takes insulin and does not eat anything after it, the blood sugar levels can fall so low that they can cause damage to nerve fibers. So these are some of the causes of nerve injury. You can be asked about the causes of nerve injury. So let us now see how the peripheral nerves are regenerated after injury. As I mentioned before that there is no regeneration in central nervous system. अगर central nervous system में कोई न्यूरॉन डैमेज हो जाए तो वो दोबारा ठीक नहीं हो सकता. दिस इज़ द रीज़न इफ़ देयर इज़ एनी काइंड ऑफ ब्रेन इंजरी, द डेफिसिट इज़ फॉर लाइफ. अगर किसी के ब्रेन में कोई इंजरी हो और प्रोलॉन्ग हाइपोक्सिया की वजह से, तो ये इंजरी जो होती है ये परमानेंट होती है. अलबत्ता पेरिफेरल नर्व्स के अंदर, जैसे कि लिम्ब्स की नर्व्स हैं या बाकी नर्व्स जो पेरिफेरल नर्व्स हैं, ये अगर डैमेज हों तो ये रीजनरेट हो सकती हैं अगर डैमेज बहुत ज़्यादा नहीं है. सो लेट अस स्टडी द प्रोसेस ऑफ नर्व रीजनरेशन इन पेरिफेरल नर्व्स. First of all, a nerve can only regenerate if the cell body survives. If the cell body does not survive, the nerve will not regenerate. So what is a cell body? As I already mentioned, if this is a neuron, this portion is known as the cell body, जिसमें nucleus होता है. If the cell body is damaged, then the nerve fiber will not regenerate and it will be destroyed. But if the cell body is safe and is not damaged and the injury is somewhere at the axon, then the nerve fiber can regenerate. This is same the example of a lizard. If you cut off the head of the lizard, the lizard cannot regenerate its head, but if you cut off its tail, the tail can grow back. Why? Because the head of the lizard contains a brain and the brain is responsible for all of the functions. बिल्कुल इसी तरह जो नर्व है उसके न्यूरॉन जो है उसके सेल बॉडी के अंदर उसका न्यूक्लियस होता है, और अगर आप सेल बॉडी ही डैमेज कर देंगे या सेल बॉडी डैमेज हो जाए तो बाकी न्यूरॉन सर्वाइव नहीं करेगा. अलबत्ता अगर आप उसका टेल टाइप जो उसका एक्सॉन है उसको जो है वो कट करें और सेल बॉडी सर्वाइव कर जाए, देन द न्यूरॉन कैन रीग्रो. सो दिस इज़ जस्ट एन एग्जांपल टू मेक यू अंडरस्टैंड, और ताकि आपको याद रहे. So this is just a funny example. So let us now discuss what happens, what are the changes that occur after the injury. What happens is when the neuron is damaged at the axon, the portion of the neuron distal to the injury, it disintegrates, it breaks up, and only the Schwann cells survive. I already mentioned you that what are Schwann cells. Schwann cells are the cells which form myelination of peripheral nerve. जैसे भी हमने पीछे ओलिगोडेंड्रोसाइट्स पढ़े हैं जो कि ब्रेन के अंदर न्यूरॉन्स की इंसुलेशन करते हैं, Schwann cells उसी तरह पेरिफेरल नर्व्स के न्यूरॉन्स की इंसुलेशन करते हैं. They are present around the axon and they cover the axon at distances and form a sheet around the axon. This sheet is known as myelin sheath. So if there is an injury in the axon, द एक्सॉन डिस्टल टू द इंजरी, डिस्टल का क्या मतलब है, उससे आगे, उससे दूर, तो वो एक्सॉन, आगे का जो एक्सॉन है वो सारा डिसइंटीग्रेट हो जाएगा और सिर्फ शिवॉन सेल्स पीछे रह जाएंगे. ओके, आई होप यू अंडरस्टैंड. So, distal to the injury, the neuron and the myelin sheath disintegrate, but the Schwann cells survive. If you confuse what is meant by Schwann cells and what is meant by myelin sheath, so suppose this is an axon and this is a cell known as the Schwann cell, which is covering the axon. It secretes fat and forms a sheet. This fatty sheet is known as myelin. ठीक है, ये जो सेल है ये शिवॉन सेल कहलाएगा और शिवॉन सेल जो फैट सिक्रीट करेगा उसको माइलिन कहते हैं. इन दोनों में फ़र्क है. ठीक हो गया. सो व्हेन देयर इज एन इंजरी, द माइलिन शीथ यानी कि फैट सेल्स एंड द न्यूरॉन्स यानी कि एक्सॉन विल डीजेनरेट, बट द शिवॉन सेल्स विल सर्वाइव. And it is the Schwann cells which are going to help in the regeneration of the nerve. So the proximal part of the axon keeps growing at the rate of about 1.5 millimeter per day to provide the two parts of the neurolemma, provided the two parts of the neurolemma are correctly positioned and close to apposition. So what does this mean? As I mentioned before, that the neuron, when it is injured, is divided into two parts. This is the proximal part जो कि इंजरी से पहले पहले है, and this is the distal part which is after the injury or distal to the injury. So what happens is the part which is distal, उसमें सिर्फ शिवॉन सेल्स सर्वाइव करेंगे और कुछ सर्वाइव नहीं करेगा. And on the proximal part, axon is healthy. This axon starts growing towards the distal end, and it is guided by the Schwann cells of the distal end, and it keeps on growing at a rate of 1.5 millimeter per day. And there is only going to be a healthy regeneration if the two ends which were cut are not very far away. अगर ये गैप बहुत ज़्यादा होगा तो न्यूरॉन रीजनरेट नहीं करेगा. एंड ऑल्सो इफ़ दे आर इन अ लाइन, अगर ये बिल्कुल एक सीधी लाइन में पड़े हैं तो ये रीजनरेट करेंगे. अगर एक पोर्शन ऊपर रह जाए और एक पोर्शन नीचे हो जाए तो यहाँ पर रीजनरेशन नहीं होगी. ठीक है बेटे. So I hope you understood. Now let's look at a figure to better understand the regeneration of peripheral nerves. Suppose this is a healthy neuron, this is the cell body of the neuron, this is the axon, and this green over here you can see the Schwann cells. ये dark green जो है ये Schwann cells हैं और light green जो है ये वो lipid की myelin sheath है जो Schwann cells ने secrete की है. So whenever there is an injury to the nerve, the region which is proximal to the injury stays the same, उसको कोई फ़र्क नहीं पड़ता. The region which is distal to the injury that starts to disintegrate. Here you can see that it starts to break up and everything, the axon is also lost and the lipids are also lost, and these are eaten up or phagocytosed by the macrophages of the brain, which macrophages of the tissues present around them, and this only the Schwann cells are going to survive. These Schwann cells are going to help the proximal end in growing towards the distal end. So now what happens is, since the axon at the proximal end is healthy, it starts growing towards this direction at a speed of 1.5 millimeter per day, and it is guided by the Schwann cells of the other side. And this repair or regeneration can only occur if the gap between the two ends is very small, and also if they are present in a straight line. The regeneration will not occur if the two ends are not present in a straight line. ठीक है, मैं अब आपके लिए रिपीट कर देती हूँ कि जब भी किसी नर्व फाइबर में इंजरी होती है तो जो एरिया हिस्सा नर्व फाइबर का उसके डिस्टल है वो डिज़ोल्व हो जाता है और उसका एक्सॉन भी ख़त्म हो जाता है और उसकी माइलिन शीट भी ख़त्म हो जाती है, लेकिन उसके शवॉन सेल्स जो हैं वो सर्वाइव कर जाते हैं। और जो हिस्सा डिस्टल है टू प्रॉक्सिमल है टू इंजरी, जिसको कोई कुछ नहीं हुआ, जो बिल्कुल हेल्दी है, वहाँ से हेल्दी एक्सॉन ग्रो करना शुरू कर देता है इन द डायरेक्शन ऑफ द इंजरी। एंड इसको गाइड करने के लिए शवॉन सेल्स होते हैं। शवॉन सेल्स उसको बताते हैं कि इस एक्सॉन ने इधर उधर ग्रो नहीं करना बल्कि किस डायरेक्शन में ग्रो करना है, ये शवॉन सेल्स बताते हैं। और ये इंजरी तब सबसे सक्सेसफुल होती है अगर ये जो दोनों एंड्स हैं ये करीब हों, और अगर ये करीब ना हो तो सर्जरी से स्टिच करके इनको करीब कर दिया जाता है। और ये रिकवरी तब बेहतर होती है अगर ये एक स्ट्रेट लाइन में पड़े हों। So I hope you understood the concept of nerve injury and nerve regeneration. Thank you so much for your patience, and if you need to ask any questions, you can leave your questions in the comment box.